Me, I'm going to enjoy my morning banana. With Tesla FSD on the Cybertruck, I can literally drive hands-free.
Buddy, who the fuck eats a banana like that, pal?
Hey guys, just want to let you know I'm part of the anti-Elon Tesla club. Because I drive a Tesla, but I'm anti-Elon. I wanted everybody to know it.
Mounted police force. Oh, I don't like the colour. Don't like the colour. Oh, brilliant, brilliant.
Hey, there you are.
Woke up this morning, got some gabagool. Then I woke up the next day and got some gabagool. Keep waking up, but keep getting different types of gabagool. Even got some gabagool from Scooby-Doo.
Do not feed the zebras! Do not feed the zebras! It says don't feed the zebras! Oh no! Oh no! It says don't feed the zebras!
Oh my god. No way. Julie, look at the baby cow.
Julie! Julie! No! Oh my god! Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I can't. Oh, I can't even move. Oh my god, Julie! Julie!
With Tesla FSD,
White women ain't scared of shit, I keep telling y'all. Who the hell looks up at a mountain lion and go, look who's here. Hi, honey. Hi, Deborah. How are you, sweetie? Who does that?
In Captain Jim and his authentic 16th century pirate boat, modeled after a real one once used by the explorer Juan Cabrillo. As one writer said, when Captain Jim leaves, the Sacramento riverfront is going to be a little bit duller. This pirate ship is no mere imitation. It is fully seaworthy. It has sailed the Pacific many times, from San Diego to San Francisco. Captain Jim is an accomplished seaman, a carpenter and boat builder by trade. He has spent much of his life building authentic 16th century boats like this one. But for the past 17 years, he has been anchored here, living off the meager interest from a small nest egg, picking up occasional pin money, selling handmade driftwood furniture up and down the river, eating wild fruits and berries and fish from the river.
Tonight I'm going to have a mess of crawdads and some wild asparagus and a potato and maybe a glass of wine. And that'll be my dinner, and what does it cost me? Nothing.
He lives here with a wild sparrowhawk with a hurt wing, a flock of wild pigeons, a wild Canadian goose named Chris, 6 dogs, and 2 goats.
I see God in every creature that abounds around us here.
Just 5 months from now, they're going to be breaking ground for a new multi-million-dollar marina right there with $400,000 condominiums up there. So he will head upstream to wilder country along the Feather River. And the waterfront here will never again be quite the same.
Oh my gosh. What?
A family from Detroit outraged after being kicked off their flight over a complaint about their hygiene.
There's no body odor that we have. There's nothing wrong with us.
Yossi Adler, his wife Jenny, and their baby were wrapping up their vacation in Miami and heading back home to Detroit. At least that's what they had planned.
All of a sudden, as soon as they took us off, they closed the gate, and then they said, oh, sorry, sir, some people complained that you had body odor. We're not letting you back on.
The Adler family briefly boarded the American Airlines plane before they were asked to get off because passengers were complaining about their body odor.
Oh my gosh. What?
A family from Detroit.
Was a teenage wedding and the old folks wished them well. You could see that Pierre did truly love the mademoiselle. And now the young monsieur and madame have rung the chapel bell. C'est la vie, said the old folks. It goes to show you never can tell.
It's here under the stuffed boar at the Woody Creek Tavern outside Aspen. The author of the new book, A Generation of Swine, holds court. At 4 in the afternoon, Thompson has just started his day with breakfast and what should be a paralyzing combination of 2 Bloody Marys, 3 beers, 3 shots of Irish Bailey's cream, and 2 water glasses of scotch. It's hard to believe the man once considered the voice for a generation of youth can still speak.
It requires an immense responsibility on my part.
I would think so. This is not easy, what you do.
No, thank you, thank you.
It's here.
So, interesting fact, the cedar waxwing likes to eat berries and things off of trees. Problem being, in the southeast, in the wintertime, the sugar in the berries concentrates, and then when the weather warms up, it breaks the sugar down, fermenting the sugars, turning it into alcohol. Notice how this bird is just chilling and hanging out with a berry in his mouth? This bird is drunk off his ass right now.
Oh no, somebody walked in front of my camera in a public space. Get on this, ostrich. Congratulations, you get to be a part of history. I've always wanted to try ostrich jousting. Wait there. Thanks, Joey. Concept is quite simple. It's as easy as understanding the world doesn't revolve around you. You know, hey, don't do that to Joey, you ostrich.
Hello, happy Thursday. Welcome to Creative Chaos. My name's Christy, your hostess with the mostest. For anybody that does not know what Creative Chaos is, this is where we take a moment to shine a spotlight on fascinating people creating fantastic things outside the mainstream. And you guys, we've already got 29 live viewers. That's freaking awesome. Normally, we're sitting around 10, 15 at this time. And I've got to let everybody know my wonderful co-host Batman is not going to be here tonight. So I just wanted to say what is up to the chat. Vulcan lives coming in first, as always, saying hello to everybody. Reverend Self-Destruct, it's so good to see you as well. We see you maybe once every six weeks. Christopher Brown been playing Slaughterville almost every single week with this wonderful yet evil game master. It's been really fun. Hey Nim, I missed you until right now. So hello to Nim. Yo yo yo. Hello, mouth agape, ape, not mouth gape. Hi, Abe. Good to see you. And I believe that might be everybody that has checked in so far. And Nim saying, friends don't let friends be soy inclined. LMAO. I love it. I'm so happy to hear that people are liking the doom scroll 10-minute opening. Basically, I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's a way that I kind of like put my guilt on the back burner for doom scrolling myself because I just like to find fun and cute and possibly inspiring and most of all funny little shorts to share with you guys. What is this? What is this? I'm sorry. I just I got a donation. That rarely happens. So, Chris, you might be over on Rumble because I am not monetized on YouTube, nor do I plan on ever being monetized. So, thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate that. All right. So, you all know that Creative Chaos wouldn't happen without Flip City Magazine. It is the magazine that I, along with Scott McKenzie, publish. It is a comic satire magazine. It looks something like this. We publish it quarterly. This is our most recent printed edition that people have their hands on. 25 is coming right around the corner. So if you wanted to know more about Flip City, you can go to flipcitymag.com. But I've got a couple of announcements of things that we've got going on. With the first being, we've launched a, I hope I don't stay this rasp all night. We'll see what happens. We have got a giveaway, a subscription giveaway that is being sponsored by our guest tonight. So I wanted to show you guys this, and I'm going to drop the link as well after I'm done talking about it, of where you can go sign up to be part of a drawing to win a 1-year subscription to Flip City Magazine. You'll get one each quarter. So, cause if we can just bring up my screen. So this is what the entry form looks like. Super easy. First name, last name, email, and then a nickname because we're doing the drawing live next week right here on Creative Chaos. We're doing one of those name spinners, and I want to put nicknames on. If you fill it out and leave the nickname blank, I am going to put your first name on there, just so you know. And it is sponsored by deschedule.earth. I'm not going to read that because that's part of my intro for our guest tonight. And one other thing we've got going on is the Flip City is Madness collaboration is closing out. This was the final illustration that was received. For anybody that is familiar with the Madness or the collaboration itself, the current theme is classic cartoons in modern situations. This is Scrooge McDuck. He is going to be renamed for satirical purposes. And he's got all kinds of problems. I can't quite read it right here, but I know he's got a hatchling support payment coming. Goofy's like bagging on him in the background. And that was submitted by Quentin White. We will be opening up polling very soon for you to vote for your favorite. The winner is going to get a quarter page ad run in volume 26 of Flip City magazine. So those are a couple of things that we've got going on right now, and we're going to stop sharing screen, and I will drop the link for everybody to go and sign up. Sign up to see if you could possibly win the 1 year subscription so kindly donated by deschedule.earth. All right, just getting this link here. I'm getting so much better at this, you guys. I'm very good job, Christy. You got the link in there, I think. Wait, did I? I'm gonna try it again. Okay. So that is where you can sign up for the contest and see if you win. And also, thank you so much to Madness Comic Network for gifting a cookie over there on Pilled. I forgot to say hello to the people over on Pilled. Also, thank you, Madness, for rating the channel with 4 viewers. So, welcome to Ghost Pepper, Munkin Drunky, Munkin Drunky, Monkey. Okay. Monkey Drunken. That's what that's supposed to be. All right. Hello. And of course, Pops Van Zant from Madness Comic Network so generously donating that cookie to me. Thank you so much. Yes. And I will bring this up as well. There is a secret contest. I'm sorry, a secret art project happening with the Madness. If you want any details on that, find Pops Van Zant or at Madness Comic on Twitter. DM him; he will give you the details. It's a really cool project. I can't say anything more about it, but it's fun. All right. So that does it for what Flip City Magazine has going on. We'll be checking in with Flip City Magazine at the end of stream, as we always do in the branded segment. But now it is time to welcome our guest. So our guest tonight, his name is Imp. Hello, Impy.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Hi, how are you?
Doing great, doing great. Glad that this date has come with the planning ahead, and we're chopping it up.
We are chopping it up, and I'll say right now, thank you so much for sponsoring the subscription giveaway. I am hoping it does really well. I'll be e-blasting tomorrow because I usually do my e-blasts on Fridays. So that's what we're planning on doing. And I'm hoping it's okay with you that we're basically opening it for 1 week for people to sign up.
We're all about networking, and we want to interact and grow with your audience. So we love it.
All right, fantastic. And I'm also super excited to have you on. We met through one of our favorite guests that we've had in recent history, the American Bandit.
Yes.
That was pretty rad over on Telegram, where you guys like to hang out. I used to, but it triggers my ADD.
We use it a lot for networking and file sharing and creativeness. And American Bandit, does great thermal stickers and so forth. And we got 1,000, from her, and we just do good work together. And she's also helped some of our supporters in Hawaii and so forth with sticker work. It's that guerrilla marketing that with the QR codes and so forth that gets you out there.
Yeah, and that was the slideshow that I had put together is, you have a ton of visual work done for your social media posts, kind of promoting Deschedule Earth. And I really appreciate that. Where are those coming from?
From the collective trust and from the webmaster and the social media manager JW, and he just kills it. And through Telegram, we have social media assets as a topic, and there's over 800 files of creative work putting the message out there. So on our public channel in Telegram, people can come in and they have access to the public chat, in the news, and social media assets. And it is just a treasure trove.
Yeah, it is really fun. So for anybody that is on Telegram or is interested in joining Telegram, I just dropped the link tree for Deschedule. You're going to find the Telegram channel link directly in there. So go click that and subscribe. What do? You just join. You don't subscribe on Telegram. You join the group.
Yep, little just knock at the cyber door, and we invite you in.
Okay. Well, we talked a little bit about Telegram and what you're doing visually, but usually, and MP, usually I have people on that are doing like independent published works, physical media stuff like that. So it is fun to have people that are doing a different type of thing. This would be the point where normally I'd say, give us your elevator pitch. Do you have an elevator pitch?
Hopefully, with 30 years of sales and marketing, I can put something together. So here we go. With Deschedule Earth is a decentralized collective trust to do one job, one mission, and that is to repeal cannabis off of the Controlled Substance Act of 1970. Nixon and Reagan are dead. Okay, Boomer. So, with that being said, we are teaching, we are mentoring, and a lot of people call me the clerk, the janitor, and the Sherpa. It's not about the, or it's about the what and the how, not about the who. So, with that being said, we want to support, we want to network, and get out there and teach people how to fight in self-represent through in working with the executive, judicial, and I guess the legislative worship, but we'll get into that.
Okay, now, have you always okay, I would normally save this for mansplain, but we've got something else lined up for mansplain. Can you explain to me, please, what exactly is a decentralized collective trust?
Okay. Collective trust, the good old days, when the country was founded and so forth, the Dodge and Ford brothers didn't get involved with the stakeholders and shareholders. You have a collective trust. So we are not having a big donation money pit button. Okay. We're not part of the IRS system and so forth. So through collective trust, you can exchange funds back and forth. You can hide identity or and so forth. It's none of your damn business. Leave me alone. Okay. So that's like a really important about the collective trust side is we do casework and we do social media management for some clients. Okay. So that's why we don't have a donation button like so many NGOs. And then with decentralized, how many people have been banned, suspended, kicked out, right? So decentralized means that we support creators, we support brands and channels, and our message will get through other people's messages. And by being decentralized, it's whack-a-mole, instead of a
Right.
nuke option and so forth. So we keep the agents, okay? We put the federalist and the statist and so forth. So decentralized is protection. And also it is community. And it's a strong way of avoiding the ego in the hero complex when you're dealing with human beings in human nature.
Okay, and so it's really interesting because I know you're doing a lot of like kind of even networking within the system because you've got to not within it, but
Where you going
it's
with
like
that,
it's
Chrissy?
okay. Well, so because what you're doing because it's not entirely far removed from what we're doing, but it's just so different. It feels like political action to me. Am I wrong in that thought?
We like to say you're not wrong, but the advocate, activists, that's sort of like branding and shoo, go away over there, advocate, activists. We're policy people. We deal with policy.
That's
So,
okay. I guess that's kind of even where I was going, you know.
okay,
So,
good.
so,
Glad
so
to meet
you're
you.
dealing, you're dealing with, you know, trying to have an effect on people that make policy.
We're working the three branches like Schoolhouse Rock. So we're getting involved with the executive, putting pressure, petitioning, civil complaints. Yes, that is lawsuit. And so forth. We're not lawyers, we're not practicing law, but we know how to pro se, and in California, pro per, and such. So that is like how we do it. And then we're joining others on the campaign trail, midterms, get out the vote, and so forth. So we have a lot of exciting things that we're really trying to um, I would not say lead, but just make train and make available and be that Sherpa and be that clerk. Because I don't know what to do. Well, do you want to have a reading room? Do you want to have a reading meeting? What have you done? Show me your top three. And we talk with our supporters and our casework clients. Let's do top three. What are the top three things you want to get done today? Because people get, just squirrely and so forth. But once you start doing your top three day in and day out, you get results, you get traction, you get bodies and you get numbers and you get that motivation saying, I'm not alone and I'm getting stuff done.
Right. Okay. So now, like within the whole networking thing and like being able to come out on live streams like this or any other ones, and get to talk to people, like what would be the number one thing you'd want people to do from this audience that are watching right now, and maybe even on our replay?
Pretty much say hi, ask questions, read, yeah, or watch. Okay. We have 17 witness testimony videos on deschedule.earth. 9 from the original. What we created was a digital hearing of the private sector. Why, people may ask? The DEA wanted to limit the amount of witnesses on December 2nd, 2024. And in doing that, they had the chosen ones, the 25 witnesses handpicked by the executive director of the DEA. Then we did what we did. And we are not claiming we were the ones that caused the cancellation of the rescheduling hearing in January 21st. But we were doing our thing, and so by connecting with us, and that's where the testimonies are. So we have two types of testimonies. We have 5-minute medical or medicinal use and medical recovery. Okay. And I just want to plug Getting High with Cats from Maine. It's not alcohol. Quit treating cannabis like alcohol. That's a trap. That's the statists and the federalists trapping you. And so that's where we have these testimonials for medicinal or subject matter experts. An example, we have 3 ministers that use cannabis with, religious sacrament and so forth. So we have 5 minutes and, some a little longer, but testify, witness. This is your right and nobody's going to see it. Well, wait a second here. We're creative people. We produce and we create stuff. Create your witness. And in doing so, then when we have more people come to the site or when we're in court action, Exhibit C, witness testimony. And then, the judge can object or, and so forth. But we want to introduce it more into the court systems and more into the executive petitioning. Governor Josh Green of Hawaii, did you, witness what you're doing to the islands? So it's a very calculated but creative tool.
Okay, awesome. You actually killed one of my questions. But if you want to talk more about, what kind of people have been in, are getting involved in providing this testimony, you can. But I also have this awesome comment from Nim that I think I'd like to kind of have you comment on as well. So Nim says, fun fact, when I was an Army officer, I didn't go to a concert ever. Why? All it took was one positive weed drug test for us to get canned. Even contact with it at a concert was enough to set it off. I mean, what do you have to say about that?
When we get to mansplain, Neem is right, okay, and it's truly the piss test that keeps you controlled, like an animal. You're not a human being if you have to pee to keep your job, to keep your career. Okay, it is old control from the 70s and the 1937. With the Marijuana Tax Stamp Act. But just it's control, and there's a lot of good people, but we can eat it now, so we got interesting times ahead. And also, I would ask Nim and your audience, do you guys remember the Dare Lion? Chrissy, do you remember the Dare Lion?
I just remember the Dare program, but not really the lion.
Okay, they had a mascot to again assimilate condition and program. And with the Dare Lion, it's always associated with smoky smoke. But you didn't see the Dare Lion, turn into a bowl of hemp seeds. No.
That's true.
You didn't see the good old Dare Lion swinging back some hemp milk, hemp juice, or soma, being fermented seeds of drink. So that's where we're saying here, folks, is the military, look how many alcoholics are in the Army and so forth. And then when you get the medical marijuana card in many states, you can't possess, you cannot purchase firearms. Well, it doesn't take a Rhodes Scholar to say, isn't that disarmament of the populace? Yes. Right. We're disarming the populace, and we're punishing people through rule ordinance, not constitution law. And that's why we get all excited.
Yeah. Well, one thing also that, when we had our private chat, and I'd like to bring it up publicly as well, is even if people don't want to imbibe or they don't care about hemp this or that, I'm never going to eat hemp seeds or whatever. I would say a decent amount of people, support descheduling. Do you feel that way?
Well, I got to throw it out to the numbers. DPA, Drug Policy Alliance, put out 87%. And they put that out through the Pew research firm. And Pew is private, and RAND is public. So I'd rather trust a private research institute than a public one. And I did mention DPA being Drug Policy Alliance, founded by George Soros. Okay, that's the one positive thing that I've seen recently, 87%. And then the good old federal government, through the public comments of June 2024 and reopened in September of 2024, we had 43,400 public comments, the largest in the Federal Registry history. And 70% of those comments are for deschedule. No,
Okay,
that's
now,
not me.
Now, as far as you go, how long has this been something that you want to talk about and like affect change in your life?
Well, thank you. I could say for it was on January 29th, 2024, I got struck with the statute or the precedent bug. And then that's when the 12 blue senators released the Warren letter. And 12 senators, all Democratic, just last year said deschedule, not reschedule, 11 pages. So I said to myself, well, okay, I don't trust the poly parties and so forth. Is this pandering or is this political theater? But what that kicked off was the policy work. They gave me the rope, or they gave me the opportunity by that 11-page letter. So then I started trying to make a documentary about it, and more pressure came towards the hearing. And I talked with some veterans groups and been thrown out of some Zoom meetings and so forth because they were putting so much pressure on December 2nd. And the co founder and I were like, that ain't going to happen. Come on. They're just being used. And we knew we needed to do the digital hearing. We know we needed to take it away from the Federalist and from the public sector. We needed to go private. And in doing so, what happened December 2nd? It was procedural. They had no witnesses even show up, but they had, people with good hearts outside in Arlington, DEA headquarters and so forth. And they were like, how come you didn't show? And we were like, we told you. We just told you. We saw the tea leaves of the globalist and the federalist. So you and people took flights from Nevada, Colorado. I mean, yikes. So that's when I'm sorry if I'm going off here, but that's when I was like, you gave me the key, okay? And when we mansplained, we got the breaching charge.
What's the breaching charge?
Okay, well, a key is how you unlock a door and so forth. Okay, and a breaching charge is a shape C4 or some type of Semtex, and it blows the door away or it blows the lock off, is what I'm trying to say through, I guess, visual, creative, or imagery.
Well, hey, talk to me more about your documentary. Is that still something that you plan on doing? And is it just kind of like you're gathering stuff with witnesses through Deschedule Earth now, or what's going on with that?
I got my ass kicked. Let's just say that. And because of the media, because of the studios and so forth, I really learned a lot of what not to get into. And that would be, documentaries or mini docs without the proper funding in networking. So I got into policy and I got into training others because I can go me, look at my documentary, well, how come nobody's seen it and so forth? How come I can't get distribution? And so we realize as a collective trust, okay, that would be nice, but are we doing better with our policy work and our networking and our casework and so forth? So it was something that kind of got started, but then dealing with the devils and the demons and so forth, it's not going to have the effect that we're looking for. And also, it is a trap. And the whole celebrity, and we learned a lot about the ego hero complex and so forth. And we say, one of my favorite, podcasters, nay, that's just not for us. So we rather do policy work and we rather network and support others in creative projects and so forth. But when you really look at documentaries, they are such just look at me. And that's my, experience. And I've dealt with people in Sweden, and I was like, this is 2 hours. It was a 2.5 hour documentary. I was like, what's going on here?
Well,
and
it's so much sweat equity without a guaranteed return. You know, so it kind of sounds to me like you made the more common sense choice, you know, of like this
Agreed.
actually will have a bigger impact. Although it is way more fun to do something creative like a documentary. I would assume. I don't know.
Well,
Are you having fun?
no, I was learning. I was getting my teeth kicked in from the just what I saw. Okay, what I saw were the Mary Jane girls. Okay, now in California, the old style of the Mary Jane girls were delivery agents. You buy online and then they show up at your house, transact, and then you got your ganja. Okay, that's a true yeah, Anna. So that's the Mary Jane girls of old. Mary Jane girls of now, and there's Mary Jane boys as well. Okay, and what that is I support the plant man and sticker there and all that kind of stuff. It was like, who have you talked to? Can you make proper introductions? That is the hardest thing for Mary Jane girls and boys. Making a proper introduction. Somebody just, pretty much they just shit on your social media. You should talk to him. You should go here. And I was like, set up a meeting. You contact him directly. And it doesn't work that way, folks. Make proper introductions. Take charge of your network and your community, and that's fun. That's creative. But when you're just, I'm doing something and all that kind of stuff, no, you're not. All you're doing is you're distracting and you're a time robber. Okay. And for me to have to read comments saying you need to contact them directly, but I was like, you posted it on my page, or my gram and so forth. So what's all, hey, don't do that again. With loving kindness, don't do that again. Okay. If you can't make a proper introduction, maybe activism and advocacy isn't for you. Maybe you need to find another hobby because this is work.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. You just said on your gram, right? Which is, I would think, probably one of the more if we're comparing Telegram and Instagram, you actually are going to make shit happen on Telegram, and Instagram is just kind of making the sell.
Well, you're right because the person did post on my Instagram, okay, and so forth. But see, you're right, making the sell or just feeling important or feeling like you're doing something is when you do the Instagram that I was suspended for 27 hours or 2 days or less. So they took me down, being the clerk, because somebody commented, or no, they're just testing my resolve. They're testing, that I do file a report, how fast I file a report, what, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just saying is yes, Telegram, Signal, not WhatsApp, Meta, okay, but you got to understand in the communications and the file share, but also you got to cut off the bullshit. And you get into some Telegram groups, and then it just it's worse than doom scrolling because it's just diarrhea. I mean, you just got to put your boots on if you even get in there. It's rough.
Yeah, well, I mean, as far as Telegram goes, because I know that's where you do a lot of your networking, and you have so many channels within your own Telegram channel for people to go scroll through. You guys, if you want to kill an afternoon, definitely go check out the link tree. I will drop that again because our chat's been a little bit active. And so I will drop the link tree again for you guys to find all the links where you can find Descheduled Earth. But as far as the idea of making this happen, was it you? Was it you and a buddy? How did that all go down?
Follow the letter, okay, of January 29th. And that's where 12 blue senators told the American people deschedule, not reschedule. Okay. So understanding that a legislative to executive, Department of Homeland Security to DOJ to DEA. That's the thread. Okay. So the legislative branch wrote to the executive agency. And that, where when they said, when 12 of them wrote those 11 pages and had cited and sourced and really, put stuff behind it, that started the movement within the cannabis community. Is nay, nay, we don't need reschedule because we know what Lilly, Pfizer, Bayer are doing with mold grown THCA, etc., and all that litany of stuff. Okay, it is not a pharmaceutical; it is a whole natural plant. The only people that should be regulating it is USDA, and that's why we're pushing so hard and so forth. So the cannabis community, back again to that Dare Lion, smoke, 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 man. It wasn't eat and drink cannabis and so forth. So we, as a collective trust, we enjoy, a little burn here and there, but we also enjoy our endocannabinoid system. And we enjoy having immunity from public infectious disease. And we want to have our immunity system built up with the chemtrails, the solar activity, and all that stuff that is happening right now. You got to have your A game when you step outside and so forth. Chicago, it's like 200 heat index or air quality level. They're killing Chicago. And if you look at the heat maps, that's why I asked you in pre-show, how's the weather out there? We're in a heat wave, heat index at 101, but Chi-Town, they're getting baked. And then what's in the air, and so forth. What those planes are dropping, folks, it's really there to hurt people.
Well, I will tell you, it is very difficult to have a garden lately.
Yes.
In the last couple of years, where previously it wasn't so hard.
Right.
So,
and then if you made your own food, right, then you would be self-reliant. And so if you kill off and all that kind of stuff, so it's all part of the plan. And that's why we need to build community and talk about the Viking underground gardens, or subterranean and so forth, or just greenhouses where you actually have a barrier between the atmosphere and your live plants.
I'm sorry, MP. I think you're mistaken. I think you think this is some kind of conspiracy show. You said something about chemtrails. I don't
one.
know. I don't know where you thought you came.
Good one.
All right.
It's just all tied together.
And that's the thing you had briefly mentioned, and I even put this down in my notes. We're even talking beyond, the whole. I can't even say what the active ingredients are, but I know there's CBD, where like the whole stone is taken, the stony feelings kind of more taken out of it, or there's hemp seeds that have like nutritional value and things like that. Do you want to talk more on that subject?
Is this part of the mansplain, or is this part?
No,
okay.
You'll know we're in mansplain, sir.
Okay, all right. Yeah, thank you. So the psychotropic, effect and so forth. We back to Rome. When they fed the hogs and the cattle hemp, and that built up the legionnaires' immune system, SPQR. So that's when we have really identified knowledge of hemp on cannabis sativa L. It was biomass, and then it got into the food system. And in 1937, they started taking it out. So, not getting into conspiracy theories, but the numbers are the numbers. From 1937 onward, look at the cancer, the big C, and so forth. Okay? And when you break down your own immune system with not receiving all the amino acids that cannabis sativa L supplies you, then you're going to be picking up more and more diseases. And hemp flower Have you had hemp pizza before? It's out there.
I
And
never have. I literally within the last 3 weeks, and I'm sorry if I'm doing TMI, right? I have been improving my diet best I can because I've been having stomach issues. But I added hemp seed, right, to my
right
morning routine with other things. And I'm pooping a lot better.
there you go.
And it's important, especially when you get older.
You got to
You
deal with
young kids, you young kids, and your easy poops. That's all I gotta say.
it's all about flow, right? You got to have and maintain the flow. And hemp seed will do that. Definitely clear you out.
So,
So,
super appreciate it. And so because and you may have more info. I'm assuming you do because you were a wealth of knowledge. So to at one point or to a certain point, wasn't like even all hemp outlawed? Like you couldn't make anything from hemp?
well,
Or am
the
I completely
my
misinformed?
understanding, the 1937, that was the Marijuana Tax Stamp Act and so forth, and then that got into the 50s, and then hemp got associated with narcotics, an agricultural product, and everybody was like, "Oh, our forefathers, the Constitution, sails and ropes." Yes, we know this. What did you do about it besides regurgitate sales rope? Did you file a lawsuit? What? No, I didn't file a lawsuit. Well, you've got to be in community. So where I'm kind of going with that, I'm sorry if I jumped there, but it's we know the past, and it's a trap to be with the OGs in the past. It's the now and the future, and if we fight for our health now, we can control it in the future. And that's really where I guess I'm trying to say is all that stuff was made and it was legal and the country thrived. Richmond, Virginia, Chip, one of our testimonials, you were required to grow hemp. You paid your taxes in hemp. Okay? TIF there, TIT. So, that's where we have hemp. But the legislatures are the ones that pushed it out of our lives, and the executives are the ones that force it out of our lives, and the judicial are the ones that interpret it out of our lives. And if we can get a hold of two of three, and that's why we are really pushing executive judicial legislative worship. Okay, I don't need to go to your fundraiser. Some Illinois politician, was telling the Canna people. Okay, I don't see you at my fundraiser. And it's like, so this is state-sponsored extortion. Did I just hear you right?
Right.
So they got us there. So why play? Why wrestle with a pig? You both get dirty, but the pig likes it, right? So that's why we work with the executive and judicial branch, and just tolerate the legislative branch or poke at them. I mean, you got a lot of people dogpile on them, and we're really pushing for midterms: repeal or resign. Okay, could you imagine that going across the new blue wave? And every Democrat, did you repeal it? Are you going to resign? No, no, no. I didn't ask if you were running for office. I said, did you put in a bill to repeal it, or are you resigning? That's the conversation we need to start having.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you yourself become an actual thorn in anybody's side because of, holding feet? I'd love to hear those stories.
Okay, well, you're going to tell me, okay, maybe I've been a monkey wrench, okay? So on the real, we have a casework. We have a federal lawsuit. The federal lawsuit deals with civil asset forfeiture. The individual was raided, and he had product and physical plant equipment taken, seized, okay? And the judge that signed his search warrant was first assigned to his civil complaint at the federal level. So we filed a recuse letter. And guess who got a new judge?
The guy, he did
Yes.
because of you.
Because
Or
yes,
your guys' efforts.
right, by teaching people how to fight and by making so much noise. The guy that signed the search warrant is going the criminal search warrant that you weren't arrested. Okay, this gentleman has not been arrested. He has not been charged. We are talking about state and federal extortion. I
Right.
take your dopey dope away. I take your hash, flash freezers away. $100,000, $500,000 capital equipment to make good hash, and good tinctures, and good extractions, and so forth for medicinal use. But he didn't get arrested. He didn't get charged. But they still have his stuff, and they had the stones to say, okay, the guy that signed your search warrant, he's going to be your judge on this case. Nay, nay. No, that's horseshit. And so we got the judge to recuse. And some people don't understand how much gravity that is to have a judge kind of say, yep, I'm out.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Now, would you say, as far as like all the stories you know of people you interact with, would you say that's one of the most egregious trampling of rights, or do you have a better story?
What? Like totally throw me on the spot here on that one.
No, I mean you could say yes, Christy. That's the most egregious from the top of my head, and then we'll move on.
Yes, Christy, that's the most egregious on the top of my head.
All right.
If I could put a plug, okay,
Of
or
course.
really two plugs, from this, okay, I don't know if we have any Metallica fans out there, but we're
I'm sure of it.
creating Damage Incorporated. So that will be a series of egregious actions or egregious arrests and hustles, okay? And so that will be a segment. We have a very strong but new but very strong blog where we are dropping, bombs on the blog and so forth. But like you talked about documentary, I lost the steam to do a documentary, but I picked up the Letterkenny or the Res Dog vibes to do my own series, or to the collective trust to do a series. So our collective trust is going to be recruiting in interviewing and auditioning and whatever, okay, for Damage Incorporated. That is sort of like the working title of the series. And then the more egregious files and the one arrest, once again, it all really goes down to civil asset forfeiture. We have a gentleman also in Hawaii on Big Island where they took his stuff. They didn't even hear his case. He did appear for trial or hearing, but they dismissed before the docket was called. But then the guy has to file paperwork to get his stuff back. Okay, he hasn't still, and it's been like end of May. Okay, so we're catching a pattern. Okay, the usual suspects, and we're spotting the trend, and that's where the Damage Incorporated, but we're doing something very special. It's called the Narcotics Enforcement Division, NED, out in Hawaii, and they have been busting up the locals for 25 years. And so we're going to be putting together a multi-party civil action. Michael, what about a class action lawsuit? You need an attorney to do that, okay? But when you have multi-party civil action or civil complaint, you could still be pro se, pro per. So that's exciting. So then I'm going to have more and more cases to docket. We say docket and clock it, okay? Those damn clerks, right? So, that's the thing. But then, with your audience and with the networking that's coming from out of this, it's like, hey, all right, you want to be a line producer? You want to be an executive producer? We got content. We just can't do it all. And guess what? We're not chasing the bag. Yeah, I said that. We're not chasing the bag. That's how they keep the cannabis community down. Make money with the herb. No, I got my own personal life, and I know my growers and so forth, and we barter. So I never really need fiat currency to get what I want. Okay, so that's why I'm the collective trust is putting their hearts and souls, because we're not chasing the bag. We're not slaves. We're not puppets. Okay. But we need more hands. We believe in the Amish and Hawaiian. The Amish is more hands, less work. And I just learned from the Kingdom of Atui, more work for the hands. So they kind of spun it around all the way out in the Pacific, but it's the same principle. And that's just
Right.
exciting. And
Well,
it's joy.
and that's one thing too is I really enjoyed looking through your testimonial section on your website. The one that hit me hardest, because we're dealing with it now, with which I'm sure a lot of people across the United States and even globally are, is dealing with an older relative that is going through dementia. And the testimonial came from somebody that's making their own CBD, and talking about how their relative, after being given CBD, was able to do things like get better sleep. And that alone is huge, Oh, and even have what they said, like possibly even more moments of being lucid, and recognizing who they are. That is huge. And that's just one teeny tiny little thing, set to the side of what um, having cannabis descheduled can mean to people, you know? That
Yeah.
is so.
Yep. The
Um,
citizens of the nation, the people of the world, that's what it's supposed to be, but we're complying with the enforcement of an unjust law. And a lot of people are checking out. Hey, I got my plug. I'm good. But, it's always me, or and so forth. So we've got to really help the kapuna, the elderly, and so forth. And that's like the 18 to 24 voter block. We really are trying to work with them to grab the 60 and over voter block and canvas together. Yes, canvas. Actually door knocking, and know how to door knock and be safe about door knocking, and don't be an ass by door knocking, But that's how, due to the suppression meta, that's how you're not going to get your message out. And so you got to kind of just get out of your comfort zone. But when you start helping another human being, and you get to see that light come back in their eyes, that lucid moments, when caregivers have been dealing with the pills, and so forth, and then somebody gets them some quality CBD, and I just love. I think it was Tennessee. They used living in a van down by the river. Chris Farley, he's like, quit
yes.
buying gas station CBD, and that just, it speaks volumes, And then talking with the farmers out in Hawaii about the microbes and just how intense their CBD is. I was like, damn, son, I want to get on a plane now,
Right.
Because I've had Kentucky CBD and California CBD, but the way he was going on, I was like, yeah. So, so you're right. And that's why we're here. And again, we're here to support and train. And let's kind of go back. When we had our talk, I gave you a tour of the website, and I gave you a
Indeed.
tour of Telegram, right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, and we listen. We're not just carnival barkers, okay? We're not just sales and marketing people. We do listen. And I just want to say, hold me to it, or I'm pledging that that documentary bug, well, I think it just became take a tour bug. And therefore, 5 or 7 minute video, because Lord knows it can't get past, too much time.
We call it short attention span theater.
There you go. I love that. I love that. So that's what we're going to do in the month of September, after we finish our August breaching charge and so forth. But I really like that idea, and I thank you, and so forth. Do a tour of the topics of the channel in the topics, and that's Telegram Talk, and then do a tour of the sitemap or the pages of the website. So awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, MP, if you wouldn't mind, people are saying in chat, I think, things that we'll add to this show. So we've got the wonderful Levi Skeen. Hello, Levi, saying he makes his own RSO. I don't even know what that means. And have my dad on nighttime MCT droppers. Any comments on that?
Well, Rick Simpson's oil, good old Canada, and so forth. So RSO is bud flour cut. A lot of people use Everclear grain alcohol in the crock pots, and it's concentrate. And I would ask Levi to kind of mention the other chem and so forth, but Rick Simpson's oil has, and now see, you're going to have the fork in the road, or you're going to have propaganda, and you're going to have lived life experiences. And let me explain that. So because it's a Schedule 1 narcotic on the CSA, we can't test it. But in 2011, Hebrew University in Israel has a patent on a derivative of cannabis sativa L. Imagine that. So they're offering, or they're patenting stuff out of country and so forth. And all I just named was the university. Nothing other political than that, folks. It's just out of country. Okay. So Rick Simpson's oil, we can't prove, or the isolate. So people know what concentrates are, and when you get it down to even a tighter level, but not synthetic. Nay, synthetic. It is a whole natural plant. So we must push the homeopathic, pre-Rockefeller, pre-petroleum pharma. Okay. And that's why, hey, buddy, Mike Tyson, reschedule. I got my bag. No, Mike. Okay. No reschedule. On July 3rd, Deschedule.earth, as the collective trust, countered Iron Mike's letter. And on our blog and on our socials and so forth, we send DJT, Donald J. Trump, a letter with signatures in the same format that Iron Mike had his reschedule letter. So we just read the letter and formatted it the same. Thank you to our creative. And that's where the creative stuff is. It might not be pictures, but when you take somebody's work and then send the direct opposite message to the President of the United States, and take pictures of the envelope and the trail of when it went to the Pennsylvania Avenue and so forth, we did a thing, okay? And it didn't get covered, and it won't get covered, okay? But if more people do a thing and so forth, that's the creative excitement that I'm trying to connect with your audience and so forth, and have fun. That's where the fun is. And you can have smoke parties and be on Instagram. Hey man, look how I did this, and just getting community and start communicating or trading files, back and forth. And, the patents that one testimony or witness, we know the patents, we have copies of the patents and so forth. And it's just horrific what the Federalists have done to us. And that's why HHS, nay, nay, DHS, nay, nay, USDA is
All
a
right.
plant. Let's use it.
Yeah, and
Sorry.
just to catch up, Levi says that his dad does coconut oil for the nighttime, but Cosmic Grandpa had said a couple of things here. He said he worked with a group that specialized in getting patients off chronic meds in the 90s. It's a miracle what can happen. And then he goes on to say, if marijuana can help eliminate chronic prescription meds, that can only be a good thing. Freaking agree here. How much of the pushback, or because basically, we're living in the day and age of like go pharma, or like it almost feels like big pharma control of almost our entire lives, right? I mean,
Yes, I mean, no doubt. And
does that just make your heart, your fight harder?
Well, it definitely makes it harder, and it makes us with all that the coconut milk, coconut oil, really good stuff. That's what soma is mixed with in the drinking. So this is an agricultural product. It does not need to be spliced and diced. Okay, it's when you can put a patent on something, you can trademark something, and get it into the Medicare Medicaid system. Okay, do the math, follow the bouncing ball. That's why they want to get cannabis in there and so forth, is because if you control it, then not just tax it, but then you can patent it, and then you can enforce infringement of it. But if you let the peasants and the serfs allowed to be able to grow their own stuff, they're not going to need the synthetics. They're not going to need that. And then when the so-called conspiracy theory atmosphere is eating them up and so forth, they will have the immunity built up because their chickens, their porks, their tilapia. Okay, I know people that grow, cannabis and tilapia, aqua farming. What do you think the tilapia is a vegetarian fish? Okay, so they have biomass pellets. I mean, you haven't lived until you had CBD infused tilapia, you know?
I haven't lived. Sounds pretty good, though.
It's just so healthy. It's like, come on, give me more healthy stuff. It's like, how can you it's like a ray of sunshine. When you have your endocannabinoid system, when you have that back and fired up, I mean, you're not bulletproof or anything, but all those sniffles, I mean, look at COVID and so forth. Come on, and then the next virus and the next virus. But if we just say repeal or resign, you're not putting us through that again. And if you dare to enforce that, I've got a whole natural plant in my yard. I'm not just doing coca. I'm not doing poppy. Okay. We all know what that looks like. And if not, get retrained. Okay. But you're going to crash my gate for, hemp and cannabis after we get it repealed. It's time to go away for a long, long time. For the bad guys.
Yeah, very good. And here's the thing. I do want to get into our first segment, mansplain. Listen, MP, I know you've been mansplaining this whole time. We both can agree. That's okay though, because you have a very specific thing that you want to talk about tonight. And I think maybe we touched a little bit on it earlier, but let's just get into mansplain and we'll talk about it on the other side of this wonderful fun stinger that Cosmic Grandpa's going to choose.
Mansplaining has positively changed her life. You can see it in her eyes. These are her eyes.
Those are her eyes. All right. So you had emailed me something that you wanted to talk about, and I'm so bad that I forgot where I put it. It was a little document. It's a project that you were working on and really kind of pushing out there. And I'm terribly sorry because I might screen share it and I might not.
We have it on the blog, and we have it also with foodfirst.us. So you tell me how, or do you want me to telegram it?
No, I've got it right here.
Okay.
So what the title of it is: the first ever U.S. hemp nutritional study seeks contributions. That's what's going on, and it looks like. Hold on, cause I'm stopping my screen so I can share it. So I can share it now. Window this share. All right, cause I don't know if you have to do anything on the back end, but I believe I'm sharing what needs to be shared. All right. I don't know if you want to read through this or what you want to do, but you're going to mansplain what the heck is going on here.
Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity to really mansplain this valuable project to where it is. Grow it, test it, publish it, lobby for it. So we are growing grain landrace cannabis sativa L. we have submitted, and it's getting harvested this week to next week. And the 4 test samples are fresh seed, fresh no seed flour, and then dried seed, dried no seed flour at 100-gram samples. So as I'm getting so technical, what we are doing is the private sector is submitting to 2 private laboratories to get the FDC, the Food Data Center nutritional value labels that you see in the grocery store. Now, there are counterfeit, there are fraudulent, but nobody, to our knowledge, and this is why we're making this a mansplain blast out, because we believe because of suppression or competitiveness, me factor, no one's done this before. And you're saying, Michael, how can you prove nobody's done this before? We, being Food First Initiative, Indiana, USA, had to FOIA the USDA, the Freedom of Information Act, to get the guides, to get the specs of what they needed to do to get cannabis sativa L samples and submit it to FDC. So that is the level of intensity that we have gone through in the last 9 months. And other lobby groups haven't done it. And I gotta, because we deal with graphics and art, and we feel like we're Thanos. Fine, I'll do it myself. So with that being said, we have the proper strains and seeds, okay, and we are submitting to testing. That's the second phase. Then after we get the test results, we are publishing, and that's where the green team and the Hawaii Green Media, the Texas Green Media, where the green media from the creators who care and really want to have the food nutritional value presented.
Okay.
So, and then from there, we then lobby. When I say lobby, that is where, and this is really important here, that once you have evidence, once you have test results, that becomes court evidence. And we believe we can get rid of the piss test because it's food value, and we show how healthy hemp seeds are, but you're going to pee dirty because you're looking for the magic THC, that makes you a demon and so forth. Enough. You took it away from us, and the people are getting smarter. We're getting organized, but we're definitely getting more, non-violent prepared. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to be careful with that word. So that's where I'm saying. So mansplaining, we're growing it, we're testing it, we're publishing it. And when you say lobby, it just doesn't mean that you're paying, a certain Hawaiian lobbyist group $120,000. Then after you get your farm rated, send you a termination of service letter. Oops, that came out. Anyhow, that's just how bad this is. And we're calling out, and by having the courtroom evidence, Your Honor, why do we have P-test for THC anymore? It's in his cereal. He drank it, so come on. Let's quit messing with people's immune system. Are you going to be on the liability when you taking away cannabis, sativa L? And it's not smoky smoke. It's eaty eat, drinky drink too, and buildy build and wary wear. Okay? And that's the message. But we got to stop with the memes or move outside of the memes and start getting into the action alerts and the court action and also running for office on that single issue special interest. John Pedero, and I apologize if I butchered his names, running for Colorado D4. And on day one, he's going to put in legislation to deschedule cannabis off of CSA. He gets it. He has that as a campaign pledge and promise. And it's only July, August. And the real season doesn't really kick up till around December, January for the midterms, primaries, and so forth. So we're using this project, and we're using the midterms to shake the pillars of Washington and just say enough is enough. Let it go. So
All right.
hopefully I did a good job with that.
You did a fantastic job, and I got to bring this comment up. Vulcan says he really enjoyed your delivery, and I'm sitting here saying this was the perfect mansplain delivery because he spoke to me directly, saying "wary where eat." And I was like, I understand now. Thank you,
Oh, you're
MP.
welcome. We're trying.
All right. Well, thank you for mansplaining, your project that you've got going on. I wish you the best of luck. It seems like the project's in good hands. I don't know who else you're working with, but you are obviously a very good advocate, and you speak well on the subject.
Thank you.
But now it's time for me to find out how big of a conspiracy theorist you are.
Let's go.
Let's do it. So we're going to get into a conspiracy corner right now and learn more about MP in a different light.
I wanna live with a conspiracy girl. I could be prepping the rest of my life with a conspiracy girl.
Those weren't even.
I'm a conspiracy girl. Before we even actually get into the actual corner where we bring up the wheel and all that, is there a conspiracy built around cannabis?
Oh, I would say don't give them that much credit. It's propaganda. Okay, it's just real quick. We had
Those kind of go hand in hand, don't they? Though.
Yeah, but conspiracy theory and conspiracy is when you really can hurt people's lives, and propaganda is an agreement, or it's a you kind of buy into it, or you just kind of go through life being surrounded or listening to propaganda. But when they take it to that next level, okay, I think of them in levels. In conspiracy theory, they're there to ridicule and embarrass and shame you and really hurt you. I mean, let's look at all the energy stuff. They poisoned me.
Yeah, but they do really hurt people, with the boot on the neck thing, connected
I'm in
to
agreement to that.
cannabis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we're out of mansplaining. Stop mansplaining. We're in conspiracy corner now. All right. So we're going to bring up the wheel. I'm going to explain how it works. Regular viewers of Creative Chaos know how the conspiracy wheel works, but here it is. All right. So we've got all these conspiracies. Some, according to your terms, might not even be conspiracies, but they're still on here. But here's how the wheel works. You get to spin it 3 times. You can choose to stick with topic 1 or topic 2 if you want to spin again. But if you spin it a 3rd time, you're stuck with the topic no matter what it is. And you must speak on it even if you don't know anything about it. And this is where your own creativity comes in because you can talk out of your ass.
Loving it.
All right. Do you understand how it works?
Yep.
You ready to spin?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. All right. We landed on the crop circles. Oh, here's the other, just a little thing, MP. If it's a topic that you don't want to stick with, but you want to say a couple words, you can.
Okay. I'm looking forward to spin 2. And let farmers do farming. That's my understanding of crop circles.
Nice. All right, spin it again, cuz.
Okay. I'm looking so forward to spin 3, and we just feel that dangerous. Because I know through Ganjan Somo Sista, you have association with your third eye. And your third eye is remote viewing. And that is what they are afraid of. When the community, when the people have access to the third eye, the remote viewing will get greater and greater.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful little tidbit. I'm really hoping you land on something you really want to talk about.
Me too.
Oh, well, here's the thing too, and Vulcan Lives can confirm in the chat that the wheel is fluid. So I can change rules anytime I want. So spend the third time. And also I'm not that mean of a person. But we're spending it a third time. Oh, MK Ultra. That
Okay,
could go on forever.
is this was this staged? Was this planned?
Why? Do you know a lot about it? Do you want to talk about it?
Well, yes, this is MK Ultra, and through our um, witness testimony, okay, Roger Christie, 95 or 96 Charlie military intelligence, okay, MK Naomi. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Okay, MK Naomi. He has testified this with his speech or his testimony. Okay, so MK Ultra we know is mind control, Manchurian candidate, and just having people, induced a biological agent. Some say LSD or other type of you know agents and so forth. Um, Roger Christie talks about MK Naomi, and you can Wikipedia. It does exist out there, and that was a biological agent based on race. So they sprayed, and it would hurt the African Americans, or it would hurt the Latins, and so forth. So it is a biological agent, or it's an agent to go through certain race genes. So MK Ultra, MK Naomi. I knew about MK Ultra, so it's not a conspiracy. And we have actual people that were trained and were aware of the U.S. Army psyops and so forth. So CIA, psyops get together and they hurt people. And so I definitely know through witness testimony and research, and that's why they're trying to mess with your can I go reschedule pharma and so forth. Folks, wake up! They're going to genetically alter the canna and start making you sloppy and lazy. And a lot of people say it's about
You said start.
Come on, you know
like
we have
it,
no
like it
slackers
didn't
here.
happen.
We got the A team showing up tonight. No, but I get your point. Yeah. So is that enough on? Because it's not a conspiracy, and I have I produced content to address MK Ultra and MK Naomi, and I welcome your audience and your following to back it up or check it out.
Yeah, I'd never heard of MK Naomi. And so, as far as, them targeting, the African American community, I mean, can you give us more detail
Well,
on how that was happening? What?
Well, I mean, look at abortion, and is that on the wheel as well? And in
It's
depopulation,
not. Thank you, though. I should put it on there.
or in eugenics, is the real conspiracy of abortion, and 13% one stat, 18% so forth. The African American or the Black community of America. Why hasn't it grown so much? Because of abortion, and then through sickle cell anemia and so forth, and other biological agents to suppress the reproductive rights or the reproduction of the race.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, well, isn't it kind of proven that most Planned Parenthoods are real close, if not right in major African American populations, like smack dab?
yep, you gotta eliminate the weight, but in the weight causes doubt, which is regret or choice to not have the abortion. And then it's not just, I mean, then you can get into, stem cell and harvesting, fetus harvesting, and all that fun stuff, and that. And so it's an industry on top of an industry. One, you keep the population down, and but then the other is you take the byproduct of keeping, I mean, you just try to make money on top of money the American way, but they're not doing it, in a loving kind way. They're doing it straight up evil. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and we have Nim here, and I don't know if you've ever read Margaret Sanger, but he says read it and sometime and be ready to be terrified. You know, it's funny. I mean, I know about Margaret Sanger, but I've never read any of her writings because I'm like evil bitch. Not reading that.
Well, yeah, you got to. I'm going to say this: people, them is right. You got to protect your mental health. Okay, you got to protect your mental health, and that means you don't have to read every. Yep, because it's bad. Okay, and but that's why there is the new blue wave and so forth, and there's groups that a dock it and clock it, and when you canvassing and so forth, you just got to be in community. You got to say, this is my list of facts. You tell me what you think, and we have to get back to critical thinking, and also just community, and just having people not be bossy and I'm the boss, and that's why we're very, I'm the clerk, I'm not the CEO, I'm not the director, none of that. My favorite line is, I'm the janitor. I'm here to set up the party. You have the party, and I'm here to clean things up and get to the next party. Okay. So, reading eugenics and just looking at just the waste of human life, but look at the populations, and in the gangster rap and all that kind of stuff. It's population control. And back to the atmosphere. Let's look at the population of Chi-Town. If they're not killing each other at 536 plus murders, more than Be More, where I'm from, and so forth. It's the atmosphere. So that answers my, with MK Ultra and abortion and so forth. I hope I did a good job here.
You did a wonderful job in Conspiracy Corner, so thank you so much for bringing us down, bro. It's it's time to bring it back up, but probably not because of what I chose for you. We are getting into the Flip City branding segment. You are going to walk away with a fresh brand that comes with invitations back to any of our Flip City parties, which are always very fun. And we do live reads, and it's goofy and weird, and you never know what's going to happen during those. So you'll be invited back to those. Basically, you get 3 invitations. If you turn me down 3 times, you have to come back for a fresh branding on Creative Chaos. That's how it works. So eventually I'll make a stinger. We don't have a stinger, but I chose something for you tonight because I consulted with Scott McKenzie and said, hey, have we ever done anything related to cannabis? Mind blown, right? We have freaking not. He said, I don't want to be high times. And I'm like, yeah, but still, like, we've been publishing for 5 years and we've never done anything on cannabis. I know. Thank you for the eye bulge. Because I'm like, I think it might be time. So I wasn't able to bring any Flip City content in that relates to what you're doing, but I'm still hoping you have fun with this one. What I did what did I did set up for you was stars who sold their soul to Satan, and I'm gonna read you in. and then you get choices. It's really easy to follow along. So, cause if we can bring up the slideshow. Here we go. Before you accuse us of satanically panicking, everybody knows that the rich and famous have routinely sold their souls to the devil for fortune and fame. Bending over to take it from the Lord of the Flies may have been a boon for the careers of legendary bluesman Robert Johnson and Rolling Stones and I'm sorry, the Rolling Stones and Jimmy Page. But here are some celebrities whom you had no idea shook hands with Lucifer to rise to the top. In our feature called Next, Stars Who Sold Their Soul to Satan. And here come our stars for you to choose from, MP. We've got John Stamos, Paul Rubens, Heidi Klum, and Beyonce. Which one would you like to read about tonight?
I'm gonna go the one that I really, really think has touched the dark side. I'm gonna go with Beyonce.
All right. She's a popular one in this. So you read this and then you're branded.
What are we talking about branded? Because I'm like thinking marketing, but are we getting pokers? I mean, what's the
Oh yeah,
branded
no,
here?
I'm absolutely burning you digitally.
Okay. Thank you, American Bandit. You didn't show me your scars. Okay, so I'm reading this, and I'm now like a little freaking out here. All right. And I'm a guy too, so I'm gonna get like Beyonce brand.
Hey, no, it's a Flip City brand, and I
Okay.
only ask you to bend over and drop your pants once. It's fine.
Oh my goodness! And American Bandit did this as well.
Yes.
Man, she was
She knowingly
silent.
brought you into me.
I'm feeling it now.
Or are you
Okay,
gonna to the audience?
I get it.
Let's do it.
Oh, we're gonna have some lively telegram tonight. Okay. What do I do? I do anything next, or just accept my fate?
I have to read it to our audience. We're live.
Oh, son of a bitch! I
You.
read it to myself. Oh, okay, okay. Thank you again.
Which, by the way, Vulcan Lives says it was a good choice.
Okay, thank you. Um, I might be screwing up on this because I am a talker and not a writer, so I am dyslexic. So, ceaselessly celebrated yet disturbingly talentless singer Beyonce has been suspect of over bizarre symbology rich videos. Her occult Coachella performance and rumors of animal cruelty and black magic from former employees. But the real story has gone untold. Naturally gifted with the most massive ego in the music business, and the disdained diva recently released her new album named Renaissance, dubbing it only Act 1 of what is apparently to her magnum opus. Bay allegedly begged arcane deity Baphomet for career assistance. Tragically, her plea is the Dark Lord to possess the biggest ass in entertainment. Okay. Reading aloud, it's even funnier. Backfired when she wound up marrying rapper and producer Jay-Z. After serving in satanic sacrifice with her spouse, she subsequently supplied her spawn to grooming at the hands of the showbiz machine. The cost of success would be the domination she would share with her hubby, shooting advertisements for jewelry and perfume for eternity. Yikes.
Wow.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I'm like, I'm just going to read this to myself. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. We're not live. Anyway, so you are now Flip City branded. You actually didn't have to drop your drawers and let me hot poker you in the bum. You're officially Flip City branded. You're invited back to any future Flip City parties. And this is pretty much the end of the show. So we've been dropping your link to your link tree all night. I'm sure you'd love people to go click that link, check out what you guys have to offer and what. And basically they're invited to you to see what they might have to offer to what you're
Yes.
doing and building.
Yes.
And
Totally.
I'm
I'm
gonna
sorry.
drop it one more time. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Time and effort. Okay. We're not going to ask you for money. We came on really looking for creative energy. Okay. And we need that. We need good people that want to help and want to be supported. And we have a supporters page. They support us, we support them. You're not seeing sponsors, you're not seeing biz connect hookups. Okay, we've been in this long enough to know that humans need to support one another and in network. Okay, so if you know somebody, and I really will say that we are not the go fish, go fetch group. We will give you tours. We will talk with you. Okay. And we love our checklists like little clerks do. And it's like, did you do this? Did you see that? Did you see that? Okay. But this is serious, folks. But the problem is that ego in heroes, we think we figured it out. We think we know how to behave and respect people, but get the work done and so forth. So I thank you again for letting me give that last push about networking and inviting the creativeness of Flip City Magazine.
Yeah, well, and thank you so much for sponsoring the Flip City Magazine 1 year subscription giveaway. You guys, I'm going to find that link and drop it as well, where you can go. It's a super easy sign up. It also includes the link on that same page to click through and link to Deschedule Earth. And I have it somewhere in my notes. Here it is. So you guys go sign up for that contest next week on Creative Chaos. I think probably during our promo section, we will spin the wheel of names with everybody that has entered in the contest. There's a section there where you get to add a nickname for added anonymity. Make it as funny or weird. Hopefully not like super disturbing, because you know I'd hate to read usernames that are inappropriate here on Creative Chaos. Um,
But you're
next
going to
week.
do branding? Come on now.
What?
You put me through that Beyonce thing, and you're getting a little, camera shy.
I gave you 4 choices.
Yeah, but you didn't set up. You didn't tell me about the backdrop. My word.
You did wonderfully, and I thank you so much. So you guys, anybody that doesn't know what Flip City Magazine is, we are a comic satire magazine. This kind of reminds me of the whole Beyonce piece. It's by this same artist, Dangerous Dave McDowell. Flip City Magazine is a comic satire rag. We push back on mainstream narratives and wokeness and all the stuff that is a little bit puke. Go check us out at Flip City Mag. In it actually, if you just click that link for the contest, that takes you to our website, so you can click through everything else. Again, MP, thank you so much for being here. It was a wonderful show, and it was great catching up with you again.
Yes, and thanks for having us. The collective trust, and thanks again for American Bandit for making a proper introduction that's so valued in this world in this time.
And it's so easy to do too. It's like, oh yeah, just email them or hey, here's their username on Telegram or Twitter. It's super easy. I personally love networking because regardless of well, COVID basically it had me in a dark spot and I lost faith in humanity. I'm like, I love humanity, but I didn't know that it was so easy to propagandize the human race, you know? So I was in a dark spot for a couple of years there, but doing stuff like this on Creative Chaos, meeting real people and real people that are trying to make a difference in one way or another, you know, it's restoring my faith in humanity. So thank you, MP, for helping me along that path.
Iron sharpens iron, and I thank you in everything that you do. And I'm glad you're part of the good and you're in the light, and that's where humans, need to be.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is where we wave and say goodnight. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, class. List everything insensitive, exclusionary, bigoted, nationalistic, misogynistic, and offensive that you can find in history's great myths and legends. Extra points for suffering panic attacks or emotional outbursts. Fact check every opinion against the lived experience of your comrades and allies, so you can avoid forming a criminal opinion. Scrutinize it cover to cover. Wrongthink, misgendering, dead naming, misinformation, microaggressions. Leave no page unturned.